welcome to another Chewin' Chat. You thought that you saw the last of us? Well, you can't get rid of us that easy.
I spoke too soon last week when I said this would be the last one until after the honeymoon, but...
we just couldn't stay away.
We couldn't. Too good of an excuse. A wedding cake.
Exactly. We made an actual wedding cake, word for word, from the original recipe as it was written in Modern Domestic Cookery, published in 1828. This is a almost 200-year-old wedding cake.
Yes, it is.
We followed the instructions exactly as it said. We just divided it to make a smaller cake.
Yes, we divided it by 6. The quantities in this receipt are astronomical. 30 eggs.
You know, you say that, but this is, okay, so this is actually going to be our wedding cake.
Yes, it is.
It is, but this isn't the scale of what our real wedding cake is. Our real wedding cake is going to be this recipe times 2 almost.
Yes. The original recipe.
The original recipe calls for 30 eggs. I think we're using 650 or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty big. We're doing a 3-tiered wedding cake and 2 full sheet pan of cake for all the guests that are coming.
Yep, so we're going to try this out because just like every other regular groom and bride, you like to try the wedding cake out before the big day. So this is our way of doing it.
And what better way to do it with the cake here?
Exactly. Okay, so I already have some on the table. Ron, you want to show your shelf up?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I put 2 roses on it. One for you and one for me.
Oh, thank you.
A rose for my rose. This is, I would essentially call this a fruit cake by modern interpretation.
Yeah, I'd say it's got 3 different kinds of fruit in it.
It does. It has citron, candied lemon peel, and an insane amount of currants. It also has almonds, lemon zest, brandy, cloves, and cinnamon. And I think that, and sugar obviously, but I think that's it.
Is that it? That's all?
That's it.
Well, I know it's not a meal, but given that our wedding is in 3 days, we'll do one last prayer with you guys before we get married. And hopefully you can say a prayer for us too.
Please, we need it.
We need it. It's stressful planning a wedding, and we're not so nervous about the ceremony per se, but we're more nervous about making sure everything goes right for all the guests. So we want everybody to have a great time as
Exactly. Well. It isn't just about us, it's about our family and our friends getting together, so we want everyone to have a good time. So there's a little bit of stress on us for that.
Yes.
But I'm still very excited.
We are very excited.
Okay, are you going to lead it?
Yeah, I can do that. Lord, thank you for everything that you've given us. Thank you for all the wonderful fans and friends and family in our life who have supported us and helped us and encouraged us to go on this journey that we've been on these last few years. Please bless our marriage and bless all of our friends, and we hope that everybody has a good, enjoyable time and travels safe to and from our wedding this weekend. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Oh, you know what we should do? The very first bite?
Oh, yeah.
The traditional feeding of each other.
Feeding. Shove it, right?
Shove it. No, you better not do that.
Okay.
There's no one on earth that likes having cake shoved in their face. Here you go.
Oh, red bite.
It's good.
That's good.
It's really moist.
It's still warm.
It is. You know what else is moist? Your forehead. You are sweating. It is hot in here. And that's why our homemade icing is just falling apart, because that's just the reality of homemade traditional icing.
On a summer day.
On a summer day. I think it's honestly probably 90 degrees in here.
It's gotta be. I wish I had a towel. I'm sorry, guys. If I didn't sweat, that'd be nice, but I'm trying. I'm trying.
So, all right. Icing you buy from the store, I swear that stuff is like chinking. Or it looks like it has silicone in it.
Oh, I think it does.
I think it does. But actual genuine homemade icing, whether it's with whipped cream or eggs, it does not stand up to heat at all. It just melts.
This is fantastic.
You like it?
I love it.
I love it too.
Now, we've ate cakes here on the show in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They're okay. They're sometimes dry. Sometimes they got so many caraway seeds in it I can't stand it, or rose water. But this is the best cake I've ate.
The best historical cake?
The best historical cake that I've ate. It's moist, but it's done. It's dense, because there's a lot going on in this thing.
But it's still somewhat fluffy.
Yeah, it's somewhat fluffy, but it's dense, because all the butter that's in it. But it is delicious. It's not overly boozy. Because there's a shot of brandy in it. You get a hint of the lemon from the lemon zest.
Yeah. Gives it a little zing.
Yeah. I like this. This is very good. I think all the guests are going to love this.
I think so too. Even the ones that aren't used to historic recipes, because obviously not everyone that's coming is into that kind of thing.
Right.
But I think they'll like this. They'll just say, oh, they chose a fruit cake for their wedding. Okay, It tastes like a fruit cake.
It's like a fruit cake / spice cake because there's some spices in it.
It has some nice texture going on because of the almonds.
The texture's perfect. Yeah, the almonds. There's a little bit of crunch sometimes. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. For a historic cake, this is actually the best historic cake I've ever had personally, pre-1830.
Really?
I would say yes. Number 2 would be the heart cakes.
Okay.
Although, funny enough, now that I think about it, the heart cakes are actually very similar to this cake. They're just small.
This is really good.
Yep, this is pretty good. This is a very calorie-laden cake. I can tell because of all the butter.
Well, you did a fantastic job.
Well, thank you.
Now, our actual wedding cake is going to have a more sweeter, modern kind of icing on it, so it does not melt. So it's going to be even more sweeter. I think the guests are going to love it.
It's going to be a modern icing just because if we use an actual historic icing, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just going to fall apart.
And this is the outdoor wedding reception.
That's the one thing we're doing different. Everything else, the cake is being made exactly as the original receipt says. But I think people won't have a problem with it. So, Ron, what would you rate this historic wedding cake from 1828? 1 out of 10, what would you give it?
Well, I can't really say anything bad about it. I am an icing guy. I do like icing.
Oh, you are?
But I'm not going to hold that against it. It looks pretty like this. But I unfortunately do like icing. The good icing, not the cheapo 99-cent one.
Oh, the silicone?
Yeah, not that one. But I'm going to give this, I'm giving it a 9.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's really good, actually.
I'm giving it a 9. It's not dry or nothing. There's just a lot of currants to my taste.
There are a lot of currants in it.
Yeah.
I think because they didn't have vanilla extract commonplace in desserts back then, to make up for it flavor-wise, they had to add a ton of fruit and a lot of fruit zests.
I love the lemon zest in it, though.
Oh yeah, I love it too. This is my new go-to historic cake recipe. This is the best historic cake I've ever had. This is good.
I'm okay with that.
And it also has a good texture. So, and by that I mean some cakes can be really way too soft.
They're way fine.
And you can't stack them. So I think for a wedding cake, this is perfect because you can stack it, and it's firm enough where it won't just completely fall apart.
It held its shape. It didn't sink down like sometimes they sink down, you know.
Yes, I know.
When you pull them out.
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, this one did not do that.
It's very stable.
It is, and it's beautiful. It tastes good. Okay, 200-year-old wedding cake, you are it. We are going to make you in a couple of days. Me and Ron's sister, we're going to make the full-size version of this with 50-something eggs this Thursday. Yep. AKA tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We're gonna make it tomorrow, but we're gonna ice it on Friday. And then the wedding is Saturday.
Yep. 3 days till we get married. Can you believe it?
Ron, we're getting married this week.
Yeah, we're wearing the clothes
that we met
in.
The same dress. I've had this dress for a really long time. I think this might actually have been the first historic dress I've ever bought.
Really?
Really?
It still looks great on you. It's my favorite dress, actually.
Thank you.
This one, if we're talking about 19th century, this one and your long sleeve brown one are my 2 favorite ones on you, and then that newer one with the little yellow dots over it is awesome.
The brown one is the second dress that I ever bought.
An oldie's a goodie.
Yep, and I met Ron in that red waistcoat.
Yeah, I had the red one on.
He was standing there with some flowers he picked on the side of the road and a potato masher that he made for me, and the rest is history. I said, okay, we're dating, right? Yep, this is the dress. Does it look familiar in these pictures? These pictures Ron took of me the day that he met me because he's a photographer. So he said, well, can I take some pictures of you? And I said, yeah, sure. Well, I didn't know that 3 years later I would end up marrying this man. Well, I kind of knew.
My favorite one is the one of you on the bridge.
Thank you.
And then the second favorite's the one in front of the gates at the Fields Valley house.
Thank you.
With the brick.
That's all in St. Genevieve. No one had ever photographed me professionally before. That's the first time I've ever had that done. And you were just so kind and polite to me. And I don't know, I'm not used to guys like that. You are so gentlemanly and genuine. I don't know.
Well, the camera's on anyways, otherwise it's...
Oh, okay, yeah, he does have a farting problem.
I'm just kidding. It ain't a problem, it's just an issue.
It's an issue and a problem.
There's a difference.
It can be both. But other than your medical issues, which I'm willing to overlook for the sake of our soon marriage, I mean,
There's 4 windows in the bedroom.
Why do you think I designed it that way? With a cross breeze and everything.
Jeez.
I am so grateful to God that He sent me you, Ron.
Well, I am
really,
too.
I'm very, very grateful.
I didn't think I'd find anybody worth marrying.
Oh.
Or that would want to marry me is what I should say. I never really held a high opinion of myself.
Oh.
So, yeah, I never thought this day would come. We're 3 days away. I can't believe it.
We're 3 days away.
I know I keep saying that, but I can't believe it, so.
Now, when it comes to this wedding, just like everything else we do in our lives, we're doing it all ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You can eat the rest of my slice.
Oh, okay.
Just because I'm trying not to get super fat before my wedding. That's the only reason. But we're doing everything ourselves. All the decorations, we are making them ourselves.
Gotta do them tomorrow night.
We went to the recycling center and we got a bunch of wine bottles for free.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're filling them with flowers and using that as our centerpiece. And then you are currently in the middle of building a arbor that we're going to get married under. And oh my goodness, you're doing a great job. I finally just walked into your wood shop a couple hours ago and saw what you were up to until 11 o'clock last night. And I'm seriously blown away by how it's looking so far.
Well, I wanted it to be unique and be, I'm not going to say period correct, but be themed, period themed.
It's classy.
It's classical looking, yes.
Yeah, it's
very
classical, it's classy, it's elegant. I really like it. You're doing a very good job.
Well, thank you so much.
Now, Chop Chop, you don't have 3 more days until this arbor has to be done.
I don't want to get too big.
Oh,
well,
no.
Hey, speaking of getting too big and too big, if you were watching last week and been following the community posts, I received my wedding suit.
Oh,
It was about 5 sizes too large. I sent it back to Kansas City. The lady fixed it. She made the changes that I recommended that be made, and she shipped it back, and it came yesterday, and it fits perfectly.
I'm shocked. I didn't think it was savable, to be honest with you.
It's just this last minute stuff. It really makes you nervous.
Yeah.
And especially, it's not like she just lives in the next town over. Kansas City from St. Genevieve is like 5 hours. I don't have time to drive that over there the night before the wedding or something to get something changed. So very stressful, but it's all good. Everything's great. So
I mean, I will admit, Ron, you look absolutely amazing in that suit. We're not going to show you guys any pictures of it fixed yet. We want one thing to be a surprise. I mean, we've shown you literally everything else.
We will take pictures. And I was thinking about this the other day, and we may or may not do it. It'd have to be when we get back. There's going to be so much going on the wedding day. There's that documentary group that's following us around, and all the family and fans and friends we want to hang out with. We don't have an official photographer. We own our clothes. We're not renting a tuxedo and have to give it back to the dress store.
No, we're owning it forever.
So one weekend when we're not busy, if we want to go take really nice photographs with nobody else around for us to hustle and bustle, we can get dressed up in our clothes and take really nice photos so that we do have something in those clothes.
When you say take nice photos, you mean you literally have a clicker and you just click?
Yes, I have a clicker, and I've used that at family occasions before for my sister's wedding. But like I said, when there's a documentary crew that's going to be following us around, I don't think I'm going to have the time to set my tripod up and do all that.
Ron is so stubborn. He wants to do things himself.
But see, that's the thing.
Can't hire a photographer. Nope, gotta do it myself. Everything myself.
I'm cheap, I guess. But
that too. Yeah.
But I've done this since 2011, professional photography. I've worked in the catering my whole life for events like this. I've even done some of the DJ and entertainment for it. and I'm a pretty good decorator, so I'm kind of a control freak when it comes to this stuff. So I want it to be good, and if it's gonna be bad, I'd rather blame myself than somebody else.
Some might call him a groomzilla, perhaps.
A nice groomzilla.
I'm just going with the flow. You know, at first I wanted an early 1800s wedding, as our channel is. But then Ron said, no, I want an 18th century wedding, aka a 1700s one. So I compromised. I was like, okay, whatever. As long as I'm getting married, I don't care.
It fits the venue and our friends.
Yep, it does. And it fits the town that we live in. So this is how I'm getting my way. I'm making an early 1800s cake. So we're mixing the two time periods together that we love reenacting the most, the Revolutionary War and the 1820s.
The food is better in the 1820s. Just get more American style. In the 18th century, it's still kind of the old world stuff.
Right, that's true.
But clothes look better.
The clothes look better, he thinks.
At least on me.
I will say, early 1800s, the empire waist on women does make them all look like they're with child, which is something that we've learned about in comments. Are you pregnant? Or how far along are you? I know you're pregnant. Stop lying to me. I know you are. It's just a style of clothes, but so my dress is fixed, your suit is fixed.
Everything's good to go.
Everything's good to
3
go.
3 days.
3 more days. And then, so we're getting married on Saturday, and then on Tuesday, we're leaving for our honeymoon.
For DC.
That's right, we're going to, our honeymoon is Washington, D.C. We're going to the Smithsonian Museums, and then we're going to Colonial Williamsburg. We're going to Jamestown, Monticello, Mount Vernon.
That's one I'm real excited about.
All of it. Oh yeah, Mount Vernon. And I am going to be able to cook in the kitchens of Mount Vernon.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, okay, so there's this film crew that's following our entire wedding and honeymoon journey. They're called Believe Plus, and a link to their website is in the description, but they're making a documentary called, don't laugh guys, My Big Fat 18th Century Wedding. And it's going to premiere on their website on the 4th of July, naturally, of this year. And they're just following our entire honeymoon. They're literally going to be in a car right behind us, and they're going to film everything.
Now, don't worry. Everybody keeps asking, are you going to show any footage of the wedding? Yeah.
On YouTube.
We will show some of the footage of the wedding when we get back from the honeymoon.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. There will be that. But they are doing a one-off special documentary kind of thing.
2 hours long, I think.
Well, you've seen documentaries, you know how they are.
Right.
So there'll be like some talking probably, then it'll show like some stuff. And
but it's a really cute documentary because Alfred is the narrator.
Yeah, they want Alfred to narrate it.
Alfred is the narrator. They kindly asked Alfred, would you be the narrator? And he said, yes.
Just like that.
Just like that.
His mouth didn't even move, and he said yes.
It didn't. It's telepathy.
Telepathy.
His last name is Fig because he's a figment of your imagination.
I thought it was because he liked Fig Newtons.
That as well. But I just came up with that, and I thought it sounded clever.
You know, a fig cake would be awesome. If that
goodness.
Exists. Like a giant Fig Newton. I love Fig Newtons.
I know.
I've got to go get some now after this video.
I think it was Thomas Jefferson. He loved figs.
Maybe he's got a receipt for it. He wrote some receipts. He had macaroni receipts. He had ketchup receipts.
Vanilla
ice cream receipts. We'll have to look into that.
He was a chef in his own right, yeah. One day we'll make some Thomas Jefferson recipes, and we're going to go to his house soon.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I've never been to these places. Okay, I did go to Williamsburg when I was in the 6th grade because I did used to live in Charlottesville, Virginia for 2 years. But I was in the 6th grade.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
That was ages ago.
That was ages. Oh, that was like, what, 75 years ago? Something like that? And you've never been.
Never been.
Have you ever even been to Virginia at all?
I've been through it, but I've never been to any sightseeing places.
I see. You just drove through it.
Yes.
Okay. That doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
And I'm going to try, but see, I don't know if this is possible to have a live stream of the wedding on YouTube. I'm going to try.
We'll try, but if we don't, not everybody's going to watch it right then and there anyways. So when they come back next week, there's no different than them just watching a clip that's pre-recorded that we put out next week. But we'll try our best.
Yes, we'll try. The thing is about the live stream, about the wedding, it would literally just be a phone set up on a tripod in the corner of the yard. Because I can't go there and change the camera angles.
Right.
I am getting married.
So somebody has to
move
keep up with the phone, not lose the phone.
get good angles, and I just don't know if it's gonna work. I mean, I will try to do it. It's not gonna be a stellar theatrical film or
because
anything.
you're not gonna see the carriage pull up. You're not gonna see them walk down through the sort of arms and the presented arms.
And I just don't want to give you guys a bad experience, but at the same time, there's no one available to change the camera angles.
Right. Honestly, I would just wait until after the wedding, and then we stick it in the next True Chat we have and show you guys all the highlight clips, because at the reception, and I'm gonna ask my aunt and uncles that are sitting there with their cell phones, send me them clips, send me these clips, and then I'm gonna stick it in the next True Chat so you guys can experience some of the stuff that goes on at our wedding.
And I know we'll upload...
Like the toast from George Washington.
Yeah, George Washington is giving a toast of Madeira, which was his favorite wine. Yep. And if you can't drink the wine, we're also offering grape juice.
Yes, that reminds me. We still gotta buy some of that.
We have a lot of stuff.
There's a lot to do. So we're actually gonna hop off of here. It's hot in here, and I've got work to do. I gotta finish building that pergola, arbor, whatever you want to call it, and stain it still. I still gotta build the bottom half, the pillars, and then I gotta stain the whole thing.
Okay.
And so much to do.
And there might be a live video of the wedding, but there may not be. Right. I can't guarantee anything. The internet out there is also not very good, so that's also fighting against me.
Yep.
I will try to make it work. I just worry it's not going to be a very professional looking video, because it's literally just going to be a camera put in the corner of the yard for 5 hours, and that's it. But better than nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, better than nothing.
But worst comes to worst, you'll see it in the next True Chat.
Oh yeah, you'll see it. Okay.
Alright guys, you be safe out there, and if you're headed this way, be careful. Just be safe.
This is my last video as a unmarried.
Yep, this is the last True Chat.
As unmarried. This is my name is going to change.
Yep.
I'm going from Justine Dorn to Justine Rayfield.
We gotta go. I got stuff to do.
We gotta go. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to do.
We love you guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye guys. See you later. We got stuff to do.